Hi, my name is Danielle, founder of thesedge.org, where changemakers come to launch and grow successful social enterprises. Now, today I want to talk about strategy, specifically the strategy around your business model and how you see that playing out in your social enterprise. So, I want to tell you about how the Sedge got started and how our business model changed over time quite drastically. And I want you to know that it's okay if your strategy changes. And in fact, it needs to change and it needs to evolve over time because when you first start out, you have a vision of what you might be working on, how you might be doing your work, and who you're serving and what you're doing to help them. And you obviously need to start there. You need to start with something, but it will evolve over time as you get to know more about your customers and your beneficiaries, about the stakeholders that you're working with, as you get to know yourself better and what you're great at and what you're not so great at. And also, things in your life might shift and evolve, and that might impact how you want to design your business and execute the value that you and the impact that you want to make in the world. So you might think that it needs to be crystal clear and 100% figured out before you get started. I've talked about this a little bit before, but this is a reminder that it does not need to be fully figured out. In fact, as Marie Forleo says, a business strategist who's pretty well known in the online space, action creates clarity. So as you start to take action, you become clearer and clearer on what you need to do and how you need to do it. So if you're sitting at your desk trying to plan everything out and make sure your business model is absolutely perfect and you think, okay, perfect, it's going to work, and then you start taking action, you will find out very quickly that you need to go back and rethink everything because you may have learned a new piece of information that changes your whole idea of how you're going to get your business out in the world, how you're going to connect with your customers. All of these different things could change once you start taking action and learn how things are going to work in the real world. So I'd encourage you to not spend too much time planning before you start taking action because, like I said, clarity will come once you start taking action. So with the Sedge, I had a vision for connecting changemakers from around the world and helping them use their collective relationships and collaborations and discussions to grow each of their own initiatives, to grow each of their own confidence in the work that they're doing and create something bigger and better and more impactful and scale the great work that they're already doing. So that has always been the vision and the goal, and it still is to this day. That said, the business model has evolved over the last 3 years. Initially, I thought that the best way to do that would be to create an online platform, kind of like LinkedIn, for example, where changemakers would, register as a changemaker and connect with each other through chats and webinars and other things that were very much based in a platform software type of tool or channel. Now, pretty quickly, I realized that it wasn't quite the right fit. It wasn't quite the right model to actually achieve the impact and the vision that I wanted to achieve. I realized that the community piece was huge in terms of helping social entrepreneurs take their work to the next level, but that you can't just offer community as a value proposition. It's not tangible enough. It's not concrete enough. It doesn't help with an immediate issue or challenge. And so, offering a space for community was just generally too vague and not really a good offering. So that's when I decided to shift the model to more of a training model. And so you can see how the vehicles for delivering the same outcome or the same goal shifted from more of a platform, organic community, a kind of elusive thing. I'm looking back, I've learned so much that I wonder how I started with that. But that's how it goes. You learn as you take action. So it shifted from that into a very tangible offering, which is I can help you work through your business challenges through trainings and workshops and other learning materials online. So it's very concrete. It delivered immediate value for very specific challenges, and that's something that people could latch onto and really get good value from. And then around that can come the community. So again, still achieving the same goal, but through a different business model. So just know that if you're in the earlier stages of launching your social enterprise and you're still feeling a bit lost or a bit like you're going in circles and you're not super clear on the direction that you want to take things, or the model that you're trying to use doesn't feel like it's quite working, that's okay. That's totally normal. And just pay attention to the signs that you're getting and learn to follow the signs that you're getting in terms of what direction to take your business model and how to evolve it. And we'll talk more about that in coming weeks. In fact, until you've reached that point where you can repeatedly replicate the revenue that you're earning and the impact that you're making over and over again, then your business model is still up for changes. It needs to evolve until you get to that point where things are working predictably. You know how to reach out to the right people. They're excited to engage with you and take you up on your offer. And you know how to repeat that and replicate it. Then that means that your business model is validated. And that's when you want to stop and systematize and make sure your processes are really good. And then you can think about scaling. But until you get to that point, the business model can definitely evolve and will need to evolve over time. Lastly, I have a quick invitation for you to join me on this upcoming webinar. One of the most common questions that I get in my work from social entrepreneurs is about business model. And this is something that's so important in the early stages of designing your social enterprise and getting it off the ground and getting it to work, is finding the right business model for what you want to accomplish, the vehicle for how you want to deliver value and deliver impact in the world to those who you want to serve. There's so much innovation and variety in business models in social enterprise because you guys are inventing new ways of making change, creating new vehicles for creating sustainable impact. And so I've created this webinar to go over 4 ways to simplify your social enterprise business model decision, because it can be very overwhelming and hard to know where to get started, how to get started, to even know what the building blocks are of creating social enterprise that can last and be sustainable. So if you're feeling really overwhelmed because there's too many options, if you feel like you're kind of going in circles with your strategy because you're not really sure what direction to go, if you're worried that you don't have enough business and financial sustainability baked into your social enterprise idea right now, I don't want you to have to compromise on the impact down the road because you haven't built a strong business case for what you're doing as well. So if this is any of you, I want you to join me on this webinar because we're going to look at simple tricks for strategic decision making so you can feel confident that the actions you're taking every day are going to add up to a big impact. We're also going to talk about the pros and cons of different business model options that are available to you as a social entrepreneur. And you will gain greater clarity on next steps to move you closer to your goal of creating that lasting and sustainable impact with a really solid business model that makes sense for you. So hope to see you there. You can register at bit.ly/confusion to clarity for SoSent.